absolutely roasting now. I feel like I'm being cooked like a jacket potato in tin foil. We're still in the Lake District. If you watched the video last week where I was out camping in the wooden hut. So we're going to have a little explore further into the lakes and head to Lake Bassenthwaite. I can't even pronounce that. I'm not even going to try and say that again. Lake Bassenthwaite? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, we're going to head there, and as always I like to throw, which way are we going here? I always like to throw in a few facts. So I've only got a couple on this one. One, I can tell you it's the only official lake in the Lake District. It's 4 miles long, 21 metres deep, and beyond that I think that's about it. I know you can legally swim in it, which is not something I'll be doing today, but I'm hoping, as with any lake or destination in the Lake District, it's always breathtaking, so I'm hoping this one's no exception. But already absolutely loving these roads. These are my kind of roads. As much as I love the street triple, I think these will be even better on a much lower CC bike, like some of the Royal Enfields, that kind of thing. So I know another channel I watch, the Himalayan Diaries, he's just bought a Bear 650, and I think that will be absolutely perfect for these kind of roads. Now there shouldn't be much traffic with it being midweek. I have to try and resist the temptation to keep stopping every 2 minutes every time I see a cracking view like that. Yeah, but you probably have noticed that the gear shifts are all manual, the quick shifter is still knackered. But I am due to go into Triumph, I think it's possibly next week or the week after, for a service, and they're going to replace the quick shifter. But just as I was leaving the campsite, I got talking to a gentleman who was explaining how he regretted never getting a bike licence. He was saying that when he was, well, leading up to his 16th birthday, he'd been restoring a BMW bike with his father, and well, he actually said what they used to do is every winter they'd strip it down, rebuild it, ready for the next season. But he said leading up to his 16th birthday they'd stripped it down, got it all sorted again, and on his birthday he decided he finally wanted to do his tests, which back then it was a lot different than it is now. But it turns out his dad had sold the bike, and he basically decided not to follow it up, which meant at that little juncture in his life where he could have gotten in the bike and he in the end chose not to, and never followed it up. And he said it's always been a regret, and he thinks it's potentially too late now to get started, which is a sad story really, and one that I can relate to, because I don't know if I'm only early 40s, but it took me until 2 years ago to actually finally take the plunge, and even now I'm thinking, why the hell didn't I do it way earlier? I know you should always start by getting your driving licence because it's essential for work and just general transportation, but it doesn't compare to riding a bike. And this is coming from someone who's been a dedicated car nut for the last so many years. Well, this is as far back as I can remember. Funny how things change. This is one I never anticipated happening. I can remember watching old Top Gear with Hammond, Richard and Jeremy on, Is that right? Hammond, me, Clarkson. And when Hammond used to talk about bikes, I used to think, stop talking about bikes on a car show, I don't want to know anything about them. Completely different now. I'm starting to see the mountains and peaks of the Lake District now. Absolutely stunning. I'm not that well versed to tell you which one's which that I'm looking at. Possibly that one in the far right looks a little bit like Stride and Edge, potentially Helvellyn. I could be completely wrong, but I know Stride and Edge has that kind of peaky climb up to the summit, which I did do once. Nearly fell off, to be honest. I had a huge backpack on and there was a few people there, and I thought I'd be clever and jump down to the next ledge, which the jump was perfectly fine, but when I landed, underestimated the weight of my backpack and it started pushing us backwards over the edge, and someone had to grab a hold of us. Teaches you to try and be a show off. I wonder if that's Lake Bassenthwaite, or whatever you call it. Actually, that is Lake Bassenthwaite, according to my little sat nav. So hopefully somewhere along here we can pull in and get a full view of it. You can't see anything here, can you? Low, can you cut down there? Let's have a look. And I'm being lazy here, rather than getting the camera out, switching all the mics and everything over. Just gonna keep my helmet on. Right, 10th time lucky. Welcome to Bassenthwaite Lake. It's just as well it's not up to full temperature yet, because I'd be absolutely roasted in all this gear doing this walk. I think it is about 15 degrees, but it is meant to get in the early 20s. Let's trundle back onto the bike. I think we're going to head, see if we can see from here. And we're going to follow the lake down on the right hand side, and then towards the centre of the bottom, somewhere in those hills, I'm going to try and find a little calf, I think. Absolutely roasting now. I feel like I'm being cooked like a jacket potato in tin foil. Oh yeah, boy. Yeah, I've had to just stop here and use that curb to get on the bike, because I cannot swing my leg over and around with those on. Now, I don't like standing on this foot peg to lift myself over, because I don't know it actually supports your full body weight on one side. Blast of cold air on my face. Whew. So I have found a random calf on Google Maps that wasn't too far from Lake Bassenthwaite. And it looked like there's places to park your bike just outside the front where the benches are, but if your bike's going to be safe anywhere, well, it is not safe anywhere, but it's got more chance of being left alone in the Lake District. beautiful place. I'm guessing this is just people's gardens. I think this is it here, it's already busy. Let's park out the front here. The chalet, team room and restaurant. Well, that was a really nice place to stop. Got a nice latte and sausage sarnie. I couldn't actually film any of it because they had music on, but you just have to take my word for it. It's amazing how many people, and in this case all non-bikers, stop to appreciate the street triple. We always comment on the colour. On a sunny day like this, the yellow does not pop. Right, let's pick up where we left off. We're going to head back up towards the bottom of Lake Bassenthwaite and then tour towards the direction of home. That was a canny queue jumper. We're just off this roundabout is the petrol station, so we'll fill up, stretch your legs for 5, gravel on the road, and then we'll call it a day. So I think for the last part of the journey, as I always do, I'm going to stick the tunes on and just enjoy the ride. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, as always, please like, comment and subscribe. It's always very much appreciated, and I love reading all the comments. I always respond to every single one. Let's get topped up and we'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.